Welcome back to Rogers Center. Matthew Sukram with you here, bringing you the third game of the American League Championship Series. The Kansas City Royals lead 2-0 over the Toronto Blue Jays, and the Royals lead right now 1-0. In the bottom of the second, Colabello steps in, takes ball one inside against Johnny Cueto. Next pitch, grounded up the middle. Nice backhand by Zobrist right behind the bag. He throws on to first, and Colabello is erased. Johnny Cueto threw the first pitch inside on Colabello. Then he tries to go to the outside part of the plate, and Colabello got a nice swing. It was right up the middle, but Zobrist shaded to the left side of the infield, took a couple of steps, backhand the ball, and makes a strong throw to first to erase Colabello. That will bring up Troy Tulowitzki to the plate on the first pitch. He fouls this one back behind the plate for strike one. Tulowitzki acquired by the Toronto Blue Jays at the trade deadline this season. He appeared in 41 games for the Blue Jays, hitting .239 after being acquired by Toronto from the Colorado Rockies. The next pitch is outside for ball one. Tulowitzki solidifying that shortstop position, being acquired for Jose Reyes, but he's hit .139 so far in this postseason, but he rips this one into left field. That gets down in front of Gordon, and the Blue Jays have their first hit of the game. It's a one-out single for Troy Tulowitzki, and the Blue Jays have the tie run on base. Johnny Cueto left this one high over the plate, and Tulowitzki goes up high, goes after it, got the barrel of the bat in front of the ball, and made great contact to line it into left field. That brings up the catcher, Russell Martin, to the plate. Russell Martin has now appeared in 8 postseasons in his 10 years in the big leagues. He's hitting .167 so far in the postseason, 0 for 3 against Royals pitching so far. But Martin hit .240 in the regular season, 23 home runs, and he gets hit on the elbow. He's wearing that elbow protector, and it kind of just explodes on him. It falls off on the impact of the pitch, and now the Kansas City Royals are saying that maybe it hit the bat. There was no reaction from Russell Martin, but again, he is wearing that elbow guard, and it kind of fell off on the impact. We'll take a look at it again. Yeah, right on that elbow protector that explodes off the elbow of Martin on the impact of this pitch. Martin, he did wince a little bit on the impact. He's a tough guy. And so he'll trot down at first. So Blue Jays reach base with back-to-back batters. A single by Tulowitzki. And Martin hit by a pitch. And that will bring Kevin Pillar to the plate. Pillar's got 9 for 28 so far in the postseason. .321 with 1 home run and 4 RBIs. And he's in an RBI chance right now. And he takes ball one on the outside part of the plate. Tulowitzki at second base. Russell Martin at first. And all Pillar is going to try to do is just try to stay out of the double play. A single could tie this game for the Toronto Blue Jays. 1 ball and no strikes to Kevin Pillar. The pitch from Cueto. Swung, grounded to shortstop. Escobar throws on a second for one. Back to first. Not in time. Pillar beats out the return throw from Zobrist. A good slide by Russell Martin to break up the play. The Kansas City Royals coaching staff already on the phone to see if they're going to challenge that play at first base. It looks like they won't. Alcides Escobar made a strong throw to second base to get the lead runner, and Zobrist just couldn't get it there in time with Pillar hustling down first base. As the Kansas City Royals, Eric Hosmer was stretched out for that throw, but just cannot reel it in time. And so the Blue Jays now have runners on first and third with 2 out. The same situation. The Kansas City Royals were in their half of the second. And it's Ryan Goins to the plate who takes strike one right down the plate. He's batting .087 in the playoffs so far. Next pitch from Cueto is swung on and missed by Goins. And he is down 0-2. Cueto has thrown 36 pitches so far through his inning in 2/3. And he's a strike away from getting out of this one. The pitch to Goins is taken high for ball one, and Pilar will move up 90 feet. He steals second base without anyone really paying attention to him. They'll give him the bag. So now the Kansas City Royals have only the force play at first base. We'll watch this play again. Pilar takes off. Nobody covers second base. Both middle infielders playing pretty far back, just on the edge of the infield. So now it's runners on second and third with 2 out for the Toronto Blue Jays. The count 1-2 to Ryan Goins. The pitch, and he takes high, ball 2. Cueto's last 3 pitches, all fastballs pretty much in the same spot. Ryan Goins swung at the first one, and now he's laid off the last 2. Goins hit .250 in the regular season. It's a 2-2 count now to the second baseman, and he fouls it off, just getting a little piece of this ball to send it down the right field side. Goins hit .188 with runners in scoring position in the regular season. Certainly a number of Blue Jays they'd rather have in this position, but here is Goins trying to make the most out of it, and he fouls this one off to live to fight and see another pitch. 40 pitches thrown now by Johnny Cueto. 2-2 is the count on the Blue Jays second baseman Ryan Goins. Pilar is at second base. Tulowitzki is at third. The Blue Jays down 1-0 here in the bottom of the second. And timeout called now as Salvador Perez will go out to visit Johnny Cueto. The fans on their feet at Rogers Center here, not really liking the timeout call by Salvador Perez, but he wants to make sure that him and Cueto are on the same page. And so they'll talk things over, and Salvador Perez will head back to the plate. Johnny Cueto, in his first start with the Kansas City Royals, went 6 innings against these Toronto Blue Jays, giving up 7 hits in a 7-6 loss to Toronto. So now he's set and he deals, and Goins lines this one into left field, but it just goes foul. Goins, a great piece of hitting there, even though it did go foul. He saw the pitch on the outside part of the plate, and he just went with it, and it just missed that foul line down the left field side, and so they'll reset, and they will do it again at 2-2. Fans on their feet trying to get behind Goins. He takes the next pitch. It's a high fastball outside for ball 3. It's a full count. Ryan Goins making Cueto really work here. He was down 0-2 on the first 2 pitches of the at-bat. Then he fouled off a couple, took a couple high ones. Ben Revere waits on deck to see if he gets a chance. The 3-2 again to Goins. Lined over the shortstop's head into left field. It's a base hit. Tulowitzki scores. Pilar on the way. The throw home, and he is safe under the tag. It's a 2-run double for Ryan Goins, and the Blue Jays lead 2-1. Ryan Goins on an 8-pitch at-bat sends the fastball into left field. It got down in front of Alex Gordon. Tulowitzki scored easily, but it was Kevin Pilar bringing up the rear, coming behind, trying to score. He was hustling hard right from the crack of the bat. Gordon with the throw to the plate. He got it there in time, but it was just up the third base line, so Salvador Perez has to go up and get it ahead of Pilar. Then he comes back, turns, and as he turns, Pilar comes sliding in. getting the hand just under the tag to score a second run for the Jays. It's a go-ahead run, and it's 2-1 Toronto. Ben Revere now to the plate. He takes strike one on the outside part of the plate from Johnny Cueto. The next pitch is high, and Revere takes it, and it's 1-1. With the throw going home, that allowed Ryan Goins to move up to second base. And now the Blue Jays have another runner in scoring position. Ben Revere hitting just .212 in the postseason. He has no extra base hits so far at all in the 5 games against the Texas Rangers or in the 2 games against the Kansas City Royals. The Blue Jays led 3-0 in Game 2 of the American League Championship Series in Kansas City, but the Royals scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 7th and another run in the 8th to win that game 6-3. So the Blue Jays with their second lead of this series, this one 2-1 right now over the Kansas City Royals in the bottom of the 2nd, but any add-on runs can be huge. The pitch from Cueto is low, and it's ball 3. 3 balls and a strike now to Ben Revere, who's got Ryan Goins out there on second base. The Blue Jays only faced Johnny Cueto once this season, and they tacked him for a couple of runs in that 7-6 loss. It was Cueto's first start as a member of the Kansas City Royals. He allowed 3 runs. The Blue Jays, with 2 in the inning, trying to make it a couple more. The 3-1 count on Ben Revere. Cueto gets the sign and delivers, and it's outside ball 4. Cueto, surprised at the call there, thought it hit the plate. He's smiling, a sly smile, but John Hirschbeck saying it did not catch any of the plate. Looked like a curveball on the outside, and it looked like it just missed. Ben Revere taking a tough pitch, and he is rewarded with a walk. So the Blue Jays, with a little 2-out magic here against the Kansas City Royals, Ryan Goins was able to line that ball into left field. That brought in 2 runs, and now Ben Revere with a 2-out walk puts runners on first and second. As coming up to the plate now is Josh Donaldson. Donaldson 0 for 1 so far. He struck out swinging in his first at-bat in the first inning, but he looks dialed in now. The pitch, ground ball to the left side. It gets past the diving third baseman Moustakas. Goins is waved around third. He will score, and the Blue Jays take a 3-1 lead on the RBI single from Josh Donaldson. A 3-1 lead for the Toronto Blue Jays in the bottom of the 2nd. A little 2-out thunder from the Toronto order. And this really is credited to Kevin Pillar, who looked to have ground out into an inning-ending double play, but he hustled down the first base line to beat out the throw. That put runners on the corners. Then Pillar took second base with no throw. Ryan Goins then brought the 2 runners in, and they have just continued to make Cueto work for that 3rd out. Up to the plate now, Jose Bautista, who sends the first pitch to deep right field. Tracking it is Alex Rios, and he'll glove it for the out. Johnny Cueto not happy with himself. Jose Bautista not happy with himself on that pitch. But in the end, the Blue Jays do have a 3-run inning. They lead it 3-1 at the end of the 2nd.